Episode 2: The City Crisis and the Unseen Battle. Weeks after the historic debate at Obodo Ukwu Civic Arena, the unlikely alliance between Mbekwu the clever tortoise and Obodo Ukwu the proud elephant became the talk of the town. Every radio station had something to say about them. Some newspapers called it the unity of wisdom and strength. Others described it as Obodo Ukwu's new dawn. Regardless of the headline, everyone agreed change was brewing. Obodo Ukwu, to everyone's surprise, began visiting Orioria Junction regularly. He no longer roared orders or honked his horn recklessly. Instead, he'd sit under the shade of Mbekwu's kiosk, sipping freshly tapped palm wine, listening to the tortoise's endless proverbs and slow, calculated plans. One evening, Mbekwu said, "Obodo, a strong tree attracts lightning. If we're going to lead this city, we must learn when to bend and when to stand." Obodo Ukwu nodded thoughtfully. "But sometimes, the forest needs thunder to shake the snakes." They both laughed. It was a beautiful balance. But just when the city was beginning to enjoy this rare harmony, trouble struck. It began subtly. First, fuel scarcity. Then sudden hike in transportation fares. Followed by strange reports shops getting mysteriously broken into at night, electric transformers vanishing, even bags of rice disappearing from warehouses without signs of forced entry. Whispers began to crawl like ants through the city. It's spiritual, it's political sabotage. Some say it's the return of the masked hyenas of ancient Abosi at first. Mbekwu thought it was random city chaos. But one morning, he noticed a symbol, a red spiral painted behind his kiosk. He had seen it before, long ago, in the ancient books of NI. His eyes narrowed. He turned to Obodo Ukwu that evening and said, "We have a visitor. One who does not knock." Obodo Ukwu raised a brow. "Who?" Mbekwu took a deep breath. Ajọ Nwanyi, the dark one. The shadow that doesn't rest. Years ago, before the city had grown into what it was, a cunning creature called Ajọ Nwanyi, a fox spirit disguised as a charming lady, had been banished from the eastern lands for draining communities of wealth and replacing it with unrest. She operated by manipulating the minds of leaders, causing disunity, greed, and eventual collapse. It was said she returned every generation, shifting shape, twisting truths. This time, she had returned in full force: smartphones, fake social media pages, counterfeit money, clone voices. She was the queen of digital confusion and economic mischief. No one knew her face, but her fingerprints were on every crisis. Obodo Ukwu was in danger. Mbekwu knew that Ajọ Nwanyi's style was to destabilize from the inside out. She would strike the pillars of leadership, then sit back and watch it all fall. And so, the tortoise and the elephant decided, this would not be a battle of fists or matches. It would be a battle of wits and will. They formed Aikno Amamai Coalition, Strength and Wisdom Movement. A secret task force of 12 animals, each representing a street, ward, or district in the city. There was Ugo the eagle from Hilltop Estate who monitored area movements, Ekwi the goat who managed market gossip, and Ngwe the wall lizard who climbed silently through vents and recorded night activities with his mini camera. Their mission: trace, expose, and outsmart Ajọ Nwanyi before Obodo Ukwu collapsed into chaos. After weeks of citywide observation and intelligence gathering, a lead surfaced. One early morning, Ngwe returned from a mission in Upper Yuba and reported, "There's a lounge called Mirror Smoke where only the wealthy, corrupt, and confused gather. Everyone who leaves that place starts acting strange, generous today, stingy tomorrow. The place is run by a mysterious woman no one remembers seeing twice." "That is her," Mbekwu muttered. Ajọ Nwanyi hides in desire. A plan was set. Obodo Ukwu, using his charm and public name, got an invitation to Mirror Smoke. He wore his finest senator wear, drove his loudest SUV, and swaggered in like a king. Inside, the lounge was draped in silk and red lights. The air smelled of temptation perfume, hot pepper soup, and fast money. Everyone wore masks. The music was low, hypnotic. Obodo Ukwu walked to the bar and ordered, "Bring me the wine that only the wise drink." That was the passcode. From behind the red curtain emerged Ajọ Nwanyi. She was tall, with long braids like cold thunder, and eyes that flickered like fireflies in the night. Her voice was soft but sharp. "You must be the mighty elephant," she smiled. "And you must be the shadow I've been hunting," Obodo Ukwu replied. Boldly. Ajọ Nwanyi laughed. "But who says shadows can be hunted?" Obodo Ukwu smirked. "Even shadows vanish when the sun rises." With that, he slammed the secret button on his ring-hidden camera activated. Outside, Mbekwu was parked in a disguised dispatch rider tricycle, intercepting the lounger's signals. Hugo flew overhead, beaming footage to the city's public LED screens. And just like that, Ajọ Nwanyi's tricks began to unravel live. People all across the city watched, stunned, as recordings played of her meetings with corrupt city officials, voice clippings of her paying street thugs, and her magic wine that made people forget their promises. She panicked and attempted to flee, but Ukwu had blocked the back exit with hot pepper smoke. She dashed to the window, but Ngwe had coated it with spiritual glue from Mbekwu's ancient god. Cornered. She turned to Obodo Ukwu, snarling, "Do you think you've won?" Obodo Ukwu grinned. "I didn't come to win. I came to protect." At that moment, Mbekwu entered quietly through the front, staff in hand. Ajọ Nwanyi froze. "You have danced on our heads long enough," the tortoise said. "But today, Obodo Ukwu sings a new song." He lifted his staff and chanted an ancient proverb, Motakwo aka, Osoro Okini Riena. "When the young and the wise join hands, they dine with greatness." With a flash of light, Ajọ Nwanyi vanished once again into the winds of forgotten shadows. The city erupted in celebration. Crowds filled the streets, praising the duo. The governor publicly honored them with the Ofiuf Obi Award, the highest city medal for protecting the people. More than that, Obodo Ukwu and Mbekwu earned something greater: trust. From that day, all public projects were first reviewed by the Ajọ team. Markets grew stable, youths got digital jobs, and even Okada riders attended evening town halls. But one evening, as they sat by the roadside eating ogba and drinking kunu, Obodo Ukwu asked,